This is the anatomy of the hand in lots and lots and lots of detail. Okay, let's go. Starting out with the bones, we've got the radius on the thumb side, ulna on the pinky side. Now above that is the carpals. There's 8 of them, and knowing them all might be a bit excessive, but it's worth it for maximal arc gains. There's the trapezium, trapezoid, scaphoid, capitate, lunate, hamate, triquetrum, and pisiform. The rest of the bones from here are pretty self-explanatory. There's the metacarpals next, for the thumb, index, middle, ring, and pinky. Above that's the phalanges, also known as the fingers. You should know that the joints connecting the metacarpals and phalanges are called the metacarpophalangeal joints, which we'll need to know for later when doing the muscles. There's proximal for all of them, but the thumb skips straight to the distal after that, while the rest of the fingers have the middle. If you've ever used your hand before, you know that the fingers are hinge joints. Nice, now onto the meat of it.
So bad.
The muscles. The wrist has the flexor digitorum superficialis in the middle, with the flexor carpi ulnaris on the left, further from the thumb, and the abductor pollicis longus wrapping around to the right of it, which connects to the bottom of the metacarpal on the thumb. There's this small muscle, the pronator quadratus, under here, but it's not that important to know compared to the other 3, so I would focus on learning those instead with their attachments and tapers. On the thumb, you've got the thenar eminence, which is that thick bulge you probably draw without even knowing what it is, and there's the flexor pollicis brevis, abductor pollicis brevis, which is the main one on top of the other 2, and the opponens pollicis, which you can really only see from some angles. The flexor retinaculum connects the thenar eminence we just went over with the hypothenar eminence, which is like the thenar eminence, as it's a bulge of muscle, but it's on the pinky side instead of the thumb side. So we'll look at that next. This is the hypothenar eminence. Here there's the palmaris brevis, which is lower down and wraps around the next muscle, which is the abductor digiti minimi, coming from underneath. There's then the flexor digiti minimi and the even smaller opponens digiti minimi nestled on the inside. Now going back to the thumb side, this time on the other side, there's the adductor pollicis oblique head and the adductor pollicis transverse head. These 2 muscles are really important to know, and they're involved in the adduction of the thumb, which moves it into a lot of different places. Then there's the lumbrical muscles. They flex the metacarpophalangeal joints, see why we needed to know the names of them before, and extend the interphalangeal joints, which are the top joints of your fingers. There's 4 of them. I'm still talking about the lumbrical muscles, by the way. They originate on the tendons of the flexor digitorum profundus and insert into the hoods of the 4 fingers, but don't worry too much about that. Last but not least is the dorsal interosseous muscles. There's 4 of them, and they abduct the finger, with the first one being the biggest and one you need to know the most. So that's it. Easy, right? Well, maybe not, especially if it's your first time watching this. Bookmark this video if you need to watch it again later, or if you're really good and you're going to get better, then just watch it again from the beginning right now to make sure you don't forget everything you just learnt within the next 5 minutes. Now, I'm not that amazing at art myself compared to all the other gurus on YouTube, so I hope this guide can help you as much as it helps me with learning all this stuff.